Let's get into it. Coach Colin here. Weird conversation leaked. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, this wasn't leaked. Obviously, this was all consenting, but apparently it was leaked without RFK Jr.'s knowledge. Donald Trump called RFK to just talk about what sounds like almost not an alliance. And he didn't say he was offering him any position. There's no position that he mentioned, but it sounds like he's offering him something. And then they touch on, jabs, if you know what I mean. And they're just talking. And then he talks about the assassination attempt and what it felt like and what he was thinking throughout the whole thing. And somehow it got leaked, and now everybody's talking about it. I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to show you what RFK had to say about this in the forms of an apology. Listen to this.
I agree with you, man. Something's wrong with that whole system. Yeah. And, and it's the doctors you find. Remember I said I want to do small doses. Small doses. When you feed a baby, Bobby, a vaccination that is like 38 different vaccines, and it looks like it's meant for a horse, not a 10-pound or 20-pound baby. It looks like you should be giving a horse this. And do you ever see the size of it, right? It's this massive. And then you see the baby all of a sudden starting to change radically. I've seen it too many times. And then you hear that it doesn't have an impact, right? But you and I talked about that a long time ago. And anyway, I would love you to do stuff. And I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you. And we're going to win. We're going to win. We're way ahead of the guy. And, he's interesting. It was very nice, actually. He called me. And he said, how did you choose to move to the right? So I guess that's, people see it. If I was looking straight on, right? He said, I said, I was just showing a chart. I didn't have to tell him the chart was on all the people pouring into our country, right? But I just turned my head to show the chart. And something wrapped me. It felt like a giant, like the world's largest mosquito. And it was a bullet going around. What do they call that, an AR-15 or something? That was a big gun. Those are pretty tough guns, right? I agree with you.
So it's weird. It's a weird call that they're having, and it was obviously private from what was said in the call. It's very interesting that this got put out there. Now, here's what happened afterwards, right? So this hit the scene. Everybody was talking about it. It was swarming X. Trending and everything. And this is what RFK Jr. said afterwards.
Jr. has since apologized to Trump for that segment of their call being leaked. He writes on X, when President Trump called me, I was taping with an in-house videographer. I should have ordered the videographer to stop recording immediately. I am mortified that this was posted. I apologize to the president.
RFK Jr.'s son, Bobby Kennedy, had shared the leaked video and tweeted, quote, I'm a firm believer that these sorts of conversations should be had in public. Here's Trump giving his real opinion to my dad about vaccinating kids. This was the day after the assassination attempt. He deleted that tweet soon after and then tweeted, quote, removed last one for mistaking sarcasm for real life. Very intriguing. I think Donald Trump's whole ploy there, like, yeah, vaccines are weird, right? Can I have your 8% vote share, Bobby, please?
It's funny. I'm getting so old, man, because I'm looking at these two, and I'm older than they are. And it's funny how you hear young people coming about, and they're like, do you know about the Illuminati, bro? Have you heard about Bohemian Grove? And you're like, yeah, of course I have. Almost 25 years ago, I heard about this. Like, what are you talking about? I had someone email it to me because social media didn't exist. That's real. So watching these two, and she's talking about, this ploy from Trump, it's like she's not even old enough or well-researched enough to know that RFK Jr. and Trump and the Kennedys have had a long-standing relationship. And that back in 2016, Trump actually offered RFK I think it was the chief chief chair in a commission that was around the science of all this and the safety of all this, if you know what I mean. And RFK Jr. accepted, but at some point in 2016, as Trump was taking office, this board that Trump wanted to form got halted. Some people fault a Microsoft guy for halting it, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know if that actually happened, but it's just it's funny that they think this is a ploy for votes. This is a conversation that they've been having for a long time. Trump didn't get to make good on that whole thing. And I think a lot of people, when you're talking about unifying the country as Trump has, going with someone like J.D. Vance, who was once a never Trumper, saw the error of his ways, and then also reaching out to RFK and giving him some kind of position would be speaking to what Trump actually said about unifying the country. And of course, if he's talking about unifying the country, he's obviously talking about unifying the parties, with the right people. You don't want to, and I don't want to speak for Trump, but I'm just going to say you don't want to bring an AOC into the administration. No. But you want to take an RFK, take one of the last real Democrats around, who actually has the classic liberal views, and put him in some kind of position. That shows unity, and plus, RFK finally gets his due. He hasn't gotten a due, really. He's ran for president, and that's been incredible. It's given him great notoriety, but he's not going to win. He's just not. He's not even going to do better than Biden, in my opinion. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious, and he does deserve some kind of spot in, not even he deserves, America deserves RFK Jr. in some kind of position within the administration. Because, I don't like all of his ideas. He showed his hand a little bit near the end of this whole thing. Don't like what I saw in regards to, affirming care and things like that, and kids. And I didn't like all that, but he still seems like a very genuine person who wants to see a lot of good. His environmental work is incredible. He's done a lot of great things. So, why wouldn't you give somebody like that a chance? So this little lady here doesn't know what she's talking about. Of course, I'm a little biased. This is actually RFK back in 2016 talking about that commission.
But the science does matter, and we ought to be reading the science, and we ought to be debating the science, and that everybody ought to be able to be assured that the vaccines that we have, he's very pro-vaccine, as am I, but that they're as safe as they possibly can be.
And you said he's pro-solar energy. He said he supports solar energy.
He told me that he was a big fan of solar energy.
You seem like you don't believe it.
Well, I'm very happy to hear it.
Did you guys talk about you taking any type of an official role in the transition or in the administration?
He asked me to chair a commission on vaccine safety and scientific integrity.
And what did you say?
I said I would.
Thank you.
So that was back in 2016. That didn't get to happen. So maybe Trump is trying to make good on that whole thing right now. So we'll see. But again, conversations like that can't be leaked. I don't know why his son would think that it's okay to leak something like that. It's just such a terrible thing to have happen, especially when your son does it. And then he tries that little backtracking, like, sarcasm for real life. It's like, so, that has to be one of those moments where you look at your son and you go, what are you doing? What are you doing? That was the president. I'm running for president. We're Kennedys. What are you doing? And he's just like, sorry, Dad. Sorry, I'll fix it right now. But yeah, that's what's going on with Trump and RFK. Would you like to see RFK in a position like this? Let me know in the comment section. A lot of people were suggesting, make him head of something like the FDA, make him head of something like the NIH, so he can prosecute a certain person that was in front of Congress a little while ago and definitely should be prosecuted. And on a completely different note, I will say Elon Musk still prefers his pronouns to be prosecute Fauci. Has no correlation there whatsoever. I just wanted to let you guys know. about his pronouns. Let me know. Let me know in the comment section if that's something you'd want to see from Donald Trump's new administration. RFK in there handling business on the science side of things. Otherwise, guys, like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. I'm out.